In this video, I'm going to show you how to assign the next benchmark diagnostic to your students. It's almost identical to how you assigned the growth monitoring to your students. So you're pretty familiar with the process already. I just want to be very explicit in showing how to do this for the diagnostic. Now, you probably remember that at the beginning of the year, when the testing window opened for benchmark number 1, students were automatically prompted when they logged into iReady to take that first diagnostic. The subsequent diagnostics don't work exactly the same way. They don't prompt students to take it until the teacher assigns that diagnostic to them. So for the first benchmark of the year, iReady tries to capture students' performance straight away by assigning it to them immediately on its own once the testing window opens. For the next benchmarks, the testing window opens, and then teachers need to manually assign the reading and math benchmark assessments to their students. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do here. All right, so just as an example to demonstrate what I said, that it won't prompt students to take the diagnostic unless you've assigned it to them. I'm logged in as a first grade student, so I'm going to log into that student's iReady account.
Choose a subject. Reading.
And the testing window is open. And you'll see that it does not prompt that student to take the test. It prompts them to continue on their learning path. Same for math. So that means we need to manually assign the diagnostics, and then once we as the teachers have manually assigned the diagnostic to the students, then once the students log in, they will be prompted by iReady to take either the reading or math diagnostic, depending on which one you have assigned. Okay, so now I'm logged in as a teacher, and we're going to sign into iReady, and here we are on your iReady dashboard. To assign the benchmark assessment, you're going to go to Assess and Teach, select Assessment, and then under Diagnostic, choose the subject that you want to assign the benchmark assessment for. So I'll choose Reading for this example. And then we have here, you can see the subject that's selected. I can see the current testing window, right, for all the benchmarks. And then I want to go to Actions. Under Actions, you want to make sure you're underneath where it says Assign. So up at the top here it says Assign, and then you're going to choose the subject area that you want to assign the diagnostic for. Now, be very careful here. We are assigning the benchmark diagnostic. Do not select growth monitoring this time. For now, you want to use the diagnostic. You also want to make sure that you're not selecting from the bottom here, because these are for canceling a test. What you're looking to do is to assign and then the diagnostic. So I'm going to select that. And then I can choose my classes, or I can select students. It's probably easiest to use classes. And then click the green arrow. And now you're going to be prompted with all of the classes that it associates with reading. Now, if you just choose your homeroom, which is this one, that's going to capture, the students really should all be the same, regardless of which one you choose. So if you just choose your advisory, which is this one here, the one that says 1-2 A-E, then that would capture all the students in your homeroom. And then you'll select the green arrow. And then finally, once it's going to give you a chance to confirm that, you're going to select Assign Reading Diagnostic. Now, I'm not going to click that because I don't want to create any issues for this particular teacher. But once you select that, now the diagnostic has been assigned to everybody in your advisory class. And so now if we were to, after clicking this button, if that student, any student from this classroom, were to sign into iReady and select reading, they would be prompted with the diagnostic assessment. They would not be prompted to take the diagnostic assessment if they selected math, because we haven't yet assigned math. I only assigned the reading diagnostic. So again, I'm just going to X out of this so I don't create issues for this teacher, but you would click that button there to assign it. Okay, so then just quickly, if you wanted to assign the math diagnostic, you can just do that right here by clicking Math. And once again, under Actions, make sure you choose Diagnostic up here at the top under Assign. Again, we'll choose the class. the arrow. Now in this case, once again, the students in this class, the students in your first grade math class should be the same as your advisory class. So if you just choose your advisory, that'll capture all of your homeroom students. Click the arrow, and then you would assign the math diagnostic. Now, if the student came in to iReady and selected math, once you've clicked that button, then it would automatically prompt that student to take that math diagnostic, and they would continue to prompt them each time they logged in until they complete the diagnostic, or until the testing window closes. Even if they haven't completed it, once the testing window closes, then it will no longer prompt the students to complete that diagnostic. So you want to make sure that your students complete it before the testing window closes. Now, one last thing that I'll mention is that this example primarily applies to elementary teachers, in that you only need to assign to your homeroom because that's your self-contained room. In the case of middle school, it's dependent on how your building is going to be administering the assessment. So in the case of Brooks teachers, if you are the ELA teacher, you may need to assign it to all of your different rooms. Let me just show you a quick example. So again, this only applies if you teach at Brooks. Everything is identical to what I just showed you, except that when it comes time to assign the reading diagnostic and you select classes, you may be administering this to all of your ELA classes. So in that case, you wouldn't just select your advisory, you would select all of your ELA classes, right? And then continue, and everything else works identical to what I just showed you. The only thing that you might need to change is, depending on how your building chooses to administer the assessment, if it's only the ELA and math teachers administering it, then you would select all of your classes in order to assign it to all your students. All right, I think that about sums everything up. If you have any questions at all, or any doubt or uncertainty about anything that I've just gone over, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. All right.